Hello everyone, I am Coach Luizinho Cruz from Kairat Almaty from Kazakhstan and also Kazakhstan national team. It's a pleasure to be here today talking about goalkeeping coach with you guys in this international conference for futsal coaches. I would like to thank Coach Daniel Cavalcanti and also Wagner Kabeça for the invitation to be part of this team, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay. The main topic today is the role of the goalkeeping coach in futsal. Well, as a background, I have a physical education degree in Brazil, also a specialization in sports training, a post-graduation, and I've been working in the past for great clubs, great futsal clubs. I started my career at Vasco da Gama from Rio, and currently I'm here at Kairat, as I told you, and the Kazakhstan national team. I've been with Kairat before in 2014, and now since 2018 I'm here back again. Well, our discussions will be split into several topics: the importance of the goalkeeper coach in futsal, goalkeeping planning, preparation of a training session, performance analysis, grassroots categories, and a conclusion. Okay. The importance of the goalkeeper coach. A futsal goalie, as we know, is the only one who can touch the ball with the hands inside the box during the game. Therefore, we realize the importance of specifically training this futsal player. The goalkeeper must be self-disciplined through actions and behaviors inside and outside the court, and exhibit self-control in regards to emotions, to use the mindset to increase the performance. I prepared this paragraph to contextualize the importance of this coaching staff member into futsal. You need someone to prepare your goalie, not only in a tactical and technical way, but also physically and in his mindset. His responsibility, being the last man into the defensive system, makes even more important. If you have, for example, a pivot losing a chance to score, he will just return and try again and again. But if it happens with the goalie, he won't have a second chance probably. He needs a very good mindset to keep into the game and overcome all the situations that happens for him. As you can see here in this organizational chart, the goalkeeper in the center of few situations that you have to consider. Usually, these days, currently, goalkeepers are a key factor for most of the teams. And also, with good technical development in youth, also being well-rounded in all games aspects, mental, physically, technical, and tactical, you can put everything together in order to bring better results. And of course, to bring better results, you need someone to keep this guy concentrated, work specifically with him. That's the way I think the importance of the goalkeeper coach into futsal. As a background for a goalkeeper coach, I believe you need to reach at least 2 of these 3 steps in your career: educational degree in sports, being a former athlete, especially as a keeper, and courses and licenses. As if you have at least 2 of them, you're gonna be in a good way to be a good coach. Of course, you have to keep studying, keep updating yourself. Other attributes for a goalkeeper coach. These days, currently in sports, you need more than one specialization. You can't be only, you can't have only one attribution in a good coaching staff. You need at least 2 attributions in order to bring more value, add more value to your coaching staff, and be like more indispensable. You know what I mean? You can be a goalkeeper coach and an assistant coach. You can be a performance analyst. You can be a strength and conditioning coach and a goalkeeper coach at the same time. So if you have 2 situations to work together for you, you can be, like I told you, more indispensable for your club. In this second topic, we're going to talk about goalkeeping planning. How can I plan regardless of the team's level? Well, that's a tricky moment for the coach because he needs to put together all information available about schedule for games, competitions during that season. So if you don't have a chance to bring all the info to your knowledge, try to put at least 1 or 2 months forward the next games so you can prepare small cycles of training for your player. Available time and locations weekly for practice, what kind of space your club will offer to you, and if you have time before or after the team's practice. If you don't have a room available to work according to this info available, you can plan properly, you know. Team's tactical plan. If your head coach needs your goalie for some tactical situations, for some kinds of plays, for flying goalkeeper, you have to realize that and put all this kind of information also on your planning. Periodization, physical and technical. I like to combine both in sequence because you can adapt most of your drills to physical needs and respect a technical sequence of development. We're going to talk about that later also. A technical periodization is something I developed a long time in my career, and I believe that helps me out to organize properly the enhancement of my goalie performance. Also, respect scientific principles is a key factor because most of the goalkeeper training is connected with physical developments almost all the time. Speed reaction, speed in motion, power, all this kind of stuff. So we've been working all the time with the goalies. And as a trend topic in sports, currently you have the loading control. Try to bring this tool to control the loading of your training sessions. Doing that, you avoid injuries and delivers your player healthily to your head coach most of the time. Of course, if you have a chance, do it together with the strength and conditioning coach. That's the best way to do that. This is a sample of an annual calendar. As you can see, in some yellow spots, you have the main competitions for our season, the UEFA Champions League. So you have to prepare your cycles of training according to these special moments in the season. Here we have a most common way to separate the phases of your preparation, the preparation period with physical evaluation, athletic conditioning. Then you connect with the pre-competition period when you put in practice most of your technical and tactical preparation for your players and also your goalie. And also into the competition period, you have a technical maintenance and specific adjustment according to the feedback that you're going to have through the games and through the practices.
1, 4.
Here, one of our physical evaluations in our pre-season. As you can see, the goalies working together with the players. So everybody working together, especially in the beginning of the season. Setting a specific training session for your goalie. What to consider when I set my GK specific training session? There's a few topics that you have to consider, and all of them usually are connected. That's an important topic to consider because this is something that makes difference between good and bad coaches. You need to realize and consider your available time, usually your session main goals, if you have major importance on physical drills or technical elements. Rep setting, it's all about volume intensity curve. If you want more endurance, you go through more volume, a bigger number of reps in each drill. Or even if you want work power or speed in some kind of situations, you have to put more intensity and then put a small number of reps in each drill. Quantity of drills, the drill setting depends especially how many time and how many time do you have available and how much goalies do you have for that practice. And as I told you before, and I will keep telling you along this lecture, a pedagogical sequence always, okay? You have put all the technical elements in a sequence to improve the learning. Something to keep in perspective always in a team's training sessions also are the wall setting, also PKs and 10 meters free kicks. That's my training session, usually stretching, static or dynamic, usually dynamic these days, foam rolling always, mobility warm-up, core activation. The core activation can be done even before or during the practice with those goalies that are not doing the main drill on that moment. Technical warm-up, usually an analytic warm-up. I like that because you put your goalie more concentrated doing the technical gesture correctly. The catches, the dives, the saves, all this kind of stuffs that we are going to work. The main drill, indeed, and return to Cal. Eventually, if we have time, try to talk about a feedback about what we had on that training session. So it's something to consider eventually, especially when you have time. Performance analysis, video rec and data. The search for reasons that a team or an athlete specifically does not play its role in a competition has been the subject of much investigation by both coaches and members of their technical staff. The use of the statistical collecting scout appears as a necessary and indispensable tool in order to find out such answers. Statistics provide relevant and objective information, which serves as a constructive basis for assessing performance, giving coaches and athletes information about the game so that the following performance can be improved. I like this part of our discussion, and I'm really suspicious about that because since the beginning of my career, I used it to work with this kind of tools, and I've been developing and improving my goalkeepers scouting since then. Almost everybody used to work with video recording, but stat is not so usual. I truly believe that you have to cross both ways to reach better individual results for your team and for your goalie. Statistical analysis. First of all, develop your athlete's absorption with this tool. You need to make him trust the process. If you don't do that, it might be worthless eventually. Doing that, you start with game data collecting, individual performance in each game elements, average and accumulated data, and then you can produce a goalkeeper's report, show to your coach, show to your players, each game, monthly, competition, and season. Here's a sample of an average from the first part of our season on that year, 2014. You can put everything together, low saves, high saves, long range distributions, and 1v1, anticipations, and then you can cross the numbers in many ways. It might be helpful for your player to realize which side the distribution is better, which side he's suffering more goals. You have lots of numbers to discuss. Video analysis. You have many ways, apps and software to work with video analysis, but usually you can put in practice in three ways. Training session recordings for individual adjustments, mobile apps for specific technical adjustments, the skill gesture. We're going to talk about that on the next slide. And of course, technical and tactical analysis through the game. This is the most usual. You have lots of softwares to do that. There's action cameras that usually delivers high quality recording. And this app, as I told you before, Coach's Eye, this is a one that I like to use for a long time. I've been using this. Also, you have others like this. But as you can see in the frames, we put the save, the game situation into the app, and then we can put some angles, make some marks, and show the player the mistake, the right thing that he did. I'm pretty sure it might be helpful for everybody. And also here, you guys can see one of our training sessions. We pick up the video recorded with action camera, put together in the app, and show him what he can do better and fix some specifically situations. Grassroots categories. Training with kids is a special part of futsal development, mainly because you will be able to show him the best ways to enhance and grow doing the right things in the pitch. To have a goalkeeper coach in earlier ages, it's very important in order to offer your kids a great number of motor experiences in your training sessions. If they don't become goalies in the near future, you have provided him a very rich moral development. So you have to realize that, because sometimes you think you're building a 5 years old goalie, and you're not doing that. You are building a player. If he continues as a goalie in the future, would be great. But if that not happens, that's okay. You already did your duty. Create sessions that offer great development in his game perception, along with his high cognitive and motor enhancement. Lots of coordination and footwork. Develop with him the interest to play as a goalie and its characteristics, as for example, responsibility with his own specific material, as elbow pads, knee pads in the daily day. Creativity is always one of the main things for a goalkeeper coach with kids. It makes kids have more attention, more interest in your training sessions. And with teenagers, it's a moment of relaxing and also motivating time in your training session. So keep creativity all the time together with you, and put all this information together in your action plan, because this action plan you prepare for those guys on that season. You can rebuild it for the next season and rebuild it again and again, and you're going to be a better coach every time you rebuild your action plan. Training methods: analytics to global or systemic method. This is a very good discussion that may take us a lot of time. So today we're going to go through that very quickly. I truly agree in a combination of these two methods of teaching, especially to develop and sharpen your technical gesture as a goalkeeper. But don't put analytic method in a perspective all the time. This is just part of the process, or even part of your training session. Not all your training session have to be analytic. You have most of the time to bring the real game to the practice. And this is systemic method, create situations in your training session that makes your goalie realize what to do, identify, organize, and take the best motor action in order to solve it, or anticipate the problem as fast as he can. Sometimes you need to coordinate with your head coach to create this type of situations together with the team. Most of the time, in my opinion, this is the best option, because you can have, for example, a 4v4 in an adapted game situation that come closer to a real game, closer to a real game than your training session. You know what I mean? So inside the methodology you choose, you have always to consider drills for each goalkeeper skills, each goalkeeper elements, a pedagogical sequence, as I've been telling you guys since the beginning. Teach from the easier technique to the most complex. Attitude inside the goal and the game. Guidance on training sessions and games. Dynamic training sessions, keeping all goalies active all the time. In a daily approach basis, you have to keep your guidance and adjustments all the times during your training sessions, wall setting, 10 meters free kicks, penalties, and of course the mindset. The mindset to deal with all the kinds of situations that happens into the games or even the training sessions. Here are a few training sessions that we did with our goalies in the past. As you can see, you can put lots of cognitive elements into a training session. Consider that you may do your techniques wrongly, but you will keep fixing that time. But the most important is offer him many types of different situations in your practice. Here, one more time. Work hard on footwork, leaving the goal, blocking the ball, split save. Stay adapted for all kinds of situations. For example, in this training session, we've been training in the corner. So I put all the other goalies working in the back. Well, now we come to a conclusion. The goalkeeping training is evolving rapidly, mainly because of the needs of a modern goalkeeper and the teams. Currently, you don't see this player only as a shot stopper, but as a multifaceted player, well connected with the tactical plan of the team. Bring the real game to the training sessions. Plan, develop, and analysis are the keys to reach success. To follow this path, a goalkeeper coach is highly important as a member of the coaching staff to enhance and achieve team goals. That's the way I think, goalkeeping coach, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you very much for your attention, and we are open to any kinds of discussions and questions. Feel free to follow me in my social medias. Thank you very much, guys.